Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn.
Gentlemen, you can't fight in here. This is the war room.
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
There's no crying in baseball.
To infinity and beyond.
Iron Man.
We're back. What does it do, everybody? How's it going? It has been a minute, but we are back. Film Code once again, season 4. This year, we're hoping to do bigger and better things. We are officially on YouTube, so this will be one of our first episodes that you will be seeing our lovely faces and my messed up camera. So there you have it. Joined as always.
Pro tip: never buy a camera off of wish.com.
Exactly. Joined once again this season by the great man with the greatest hair of all time, Zach Sneef. Zach, how are you, sir?
Man, I'm doing great. I think has there been a lot of I think I've had a lot of life changes since last season, but still going through some things and figuring some stuff out. But overall we're doing great. Going to the gym, losing some weight. Life's great right now, so can't complain. New friends, love that. So yeah.
Well, you look beautiful.
Oh, I appreciate it, man. Thank you.
And of course, joined we counted the votes. We counted them twice. We recounted them, and it is the case. He is our season 3 code-breaking champion, the one and only Brandon. Congratulations, sir.
Thank you, man. Just like Santa Claus, we made our list and checked it twice. It is good to be here officially as your season 3 code breaking champion. Waiting on that trophy.
Yes.
Whenever that arrives. But yeah, no, it is good to be back. We did take a couple month break between just life stuff going on and just getting ready for season 4. We let a couple movies build up, and that's kind of what we're gonna do today. Is we're just gonna, speaking of those movies building up, we're just gonna dive into some movies that I guess we can call it a early summer catch up episode, because there's a lot that we went and saw and we just never discussed on the podcast. So we're like, cool, let's go through, just kind of burn through them all, dive into what we did or didn't like about the film, and yeah. So without further ado, I will pass back to Phoenix to start us off with our first film.
Yeah, so we got a long list of films, and let's start on a happy note, I guess. We'll start on a happy note, and we'll start with one that is fairly recent. So we all had a chance to see a new comedy, Joyride, starring Ashley Park, Sherry Cola, and Stephanie Shu. This was all-female, all-Asian-led comedy. It's a raunchy R-rated comedy, very sex-positive. I loved this movie. I thought it was hilarious. It's got some really great funny gags in it. They do push the hard R. They're not even close to kidding on that. Especially one particular scene that I've thought of a couple of times since leaving
the one
theater.
with the tattoo.
Yeah. Very, very funny movie. Zach, what did you think of Joyride?
Oh man, I love that movie. And for me too, I think with the other story going on too, with the her searching for her father or not father, sorry, her mother.
Birth mother, yeah.
Yeah, sorry, not father, mother, like her birth mother. Like that was so like heartfelt for me. That was hard for me that movie is hard for me to watch because I don't know my birth father. So like those movies always like just mess me up completely. So I was just like a puddle when I got home. I went to my room. I didn't want to talk to anyone. I was like, yeah, I'm done for the night.
You throw on the emo music too?
No. But yeah, I just went to bed and I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna sleep.
For me, I'm kind of in the same boat with you guys. Like it was a solid film. The comedy was there. It was really funny, and the emotional moments were there. Just I think the performances were great, and seeing Stephanie Shu in just another role, getting just back-to-back roles now is just freaking great. Like she deserves everything that is coming to her with her acting career. Like I'm shocked she didn't win Best Act. She was my pull for Best Actress at the Oscars. Surprised she didn't get it, but yeah, I am really looking forward to seeing more of her work as her career progresses. But that being said, so star rating on this film. What do you guys think, Phoenix?
I'm going solid. I'd say 3 stars. Um, yeah, like I had a good time with it. It's a good funny movie, and I think as far as comedies go, like it's solid. I think it may have a little bit too much Asian centered humor in it, and I'm like, if you're not, particularly familiar with the culture, it could be lost on you. But it does have some great gags that are like, I'm saying pretty universal that I dig. Um, but yeah, overall, and I do think the heart was solid. The scene where she, sees her mom's message, that one kind of broke me up too, not gonna lie. But yeah, overall, I thought it was solid. I would love to see a movie with these actors again. I think, obviously Stephanie Shu was amazing. But Ashley Park was incredible leading the movie. So yeah, I dug it. I would totally watch it again.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to follow up with Phoenix here. I also gave it 3 stars. Like it's a solid movie. It's a solid comedy, and like it did have the emotional moments for me. Just it's just I think it's just bottomed out at 3 stars.
Yeah, I think yeah, exactly.
Well, this is where I'm going to disagree and give it the actual rating it deserves, which is 4 stars.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I know you guys are haters on it. It's fine. It's cool. More than a mid movie. It's a great movie. I loved it. I connected with it. I'm not Asian, but I know a lot of Asians, and so I got the humor. I didn't think there was any, like, it was pretty normal for me. Like, I was laughing throughout that whole movie.
Oh yeah,
I loved it. So yeah,
like
4 stars for me.
and like definitely, like I said, I will watch it again. Like because I do think I thought it was hilarious in terms of comedy. I thought they did a pretty solid job. I was just like, I don't like to me. It's like it's not a film that I could. It's not a film where I see myself like.
Watching again.
No, I could watch it again, but like I can't see myself like being like a super fan of, right. Like it's like I'm not gonna be like, yo, you got to see this. Like it's not quite there, but I do think it is a pretty solid movie.
Yeah, I agree with Phoenix here. Like for me, like I don't think that's a film I'll ever watch again. Like it's just not something I would like voluntarily sit down and be like, hey, I want something to watch. Let me just throw this on.
Mm.
But yeah. So Phoenix, what's our next film?
Let's talk about what I'm sure is Brandon's favorite film of the year, Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny.
Man, what happened? James Mangold, what happened? Man, what happened? I need you to answer that for me. What happened? Like, for me, Dial of Destiny it really missed for me. Like, I'm a huge fan of Crusade and Raiders, and I think Indiana Jones might be my favorite franchise of all time. It should have ended at Last Crusade. Crystal Skull is okay. Like I've always said, it's okay. It's not terrible. It's like a solid 2.5, maybe 3-star movie. But Dial of Destiny, man, I just did not vibe with that film at all. Just there's so many times, like, yeah, I get it, plot armor, and that could be applied to every other Indiana Jones film. But the plot armor here was dialed up to like a 30. If this man wasn't Harrison Ford, or if this man wasn't Indiana Jones, he'd be dead in like 20 minutes of this film, like as old Indy. The whole time travel aspect was flat for me. Mads Mikkelsen did a great job as the villain, but I mean, he was nothing special. Helena was okay. That kid was terrible.
Yeah.
There's just so much that didn't work for me. Like, and I'm not saying this. I'm saying this as somebody who's talked twice. Like, I thought I just had a bad day or something. Watched it. I'm like, this is just okay. It's not good at all. And then I gave it a rewatch. I'm like, yeah, no, okay. My opinions are set on this. It's just no. I'm not okay with this movie. And it's unfortunate to say. Like, it lacked the Steven Spielberg touch of magic.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but Spielberg did all of the other ones, right?
Spielberg did all the others, yes. George Lucas wrote them all. And then this one was just a giant curveball. And I think it's because he was working on Fablemans at the time and West Side Story.
Right.
But
so I come into this a little bit differently because the only other Indiana Jones movie I've seen was Raiders. And when I say I come into this differently, I come into it very differently.
so disrespectful.
I thought Raiders was terrible. I
Disrespectful.
Genuinely don't get it.
Phoenix, am I about to be upset right now?
I don't know, but like I found Raiders to be, it's just not my kind of movie. Like, I'm sorry, I think it's very nostalgia heavy, and I think had I seen it at the time that it was out, I might share that nostalgia, but like I don't have like that sense of where this movie was, the time capsule that it was in. So to me, it doesn't work on just technical levels as a movie, in terms of acting and a whole bunch of things. So Dial of Destiny, I had a little bit more favor for because, it's more modern and like they've updated, acting techniques. So it's a lot smoother than Raiders is to me. But that being said, it's not great. like it's not great. I think it's a serviceable action adventure movie. I think if you have very deep ties to indie, like like I said, if you grew up with these movies or something, I can see how this would disappoint you. To me, this didn't disappoint me. It just wasn't like I wasn't blown away by it. It was very pedestrian in my eyes. So, yeah, I wasn't.
I'm scared to see your thoughts on Temple of Doom and Last Crusade.
If I ever get around to them. But yeah, this one didn't do much for me. As much as I love Phoebe Waller-Bridge, I hated her character in this movie. Like, yikes! like
Just see, my issue wasn't with her directly. It was all the subplots wrapped around her. Just like the whole, oh my gosh, yeah, like I had a fiance I left for just to get money from him, and just no, this wasn't it.
It wasn't it. It wasn't
Zach,
it.
I want to hear
Yeah.
your thoughts.
I hated it. I like the story was just very like, even though it's about like, first of all, it's not at the heart of Indiana Jones, kind of like what he actually does, kind of like the same with Crystal Skull. Like, it's all very like supernatural, and I get like there's been ones where it's like, yeah, Rachel, that I can, okay, whatever, right? But like the whole, aliens, and now we're going to time travel, like, you know what I mean? Like, it didn't work last time. I don't know why you thought it would work this time. And it's just unnecessarily long for the movie it is. You could cut out half of that movie and get the same result.
Could have easily shaved off like a good 30 minutes.
Yeah. It was pretty bad.
Yeah, I wasn't moved by it, but at the same time, since I'm not attached to the Indiana Jones movies, I guess I had a little bit more appreciation for it, but again, not much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm interested to see you guys' ratings on this one.
What do you got?
My first viewing, I gave it a 1.5. My second viewing, after it cemented it for me, and I was constantly being told I'm wrong for my opinions, I dropped it down to 1 star. I can't give it any higher than that. Maybe it'll go back to 1.5, but just I was so looking forward to this movie and it just fell really, 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 really flat for me.
Zach, what about you?
I gave it 2.5, but I'm most likely gonna move it down to a 2.
Yeah, I'll ride that 2.5. For me, like I said, it was about the same as I felt for Raiders, which wasn't much. But yeah, I thought it was okay. Not great, not the best, but I've never really been a fan, so you know, just kind of went in one ear and out the other for me. All right, so let's move on to what I'm sure will be my favorite of these bunch. Let's talk Wes Anderson's new film, Asteroid City. Zach, why don't you kick us off? What were your thoughts on Asteroid City?
Man, I loved it. Like the everything about that movie I love. The scenes are as always beautifully shot. And honestly, like I was laughing throughout that whole movie. I thought it was like very subtly hilarious. Like it was very dry, but it was hysterical. I loved it. Yeah, I couldn't get enough of it. I haven't seen it again since, but I'll probably watch it again here soon because I have access to it. So yeah, I freaking love that movie. I think that's my favorite next to Grand Budapest Hotel.
Wow.
I really did like Asteroid City like a lot.
Yeah, that's high praise.
Yeah.
Because like Grand Budapest is probably
I'm not saying it's up, yeah, but I really loved it. I think compared to like I think that's one of my like next to Grand Budapest. I'm not saying it's up by Grand Budapest, but it's one of his better ones for sure.
I tend to agree. So Asteroid City is about it's about this convention that they have out in the desert somewhere, but science convention where like all of these kids come to show off these inventions. The crazy thing is like some of these inventions are like really like next level, like they're probably dangerous.
Somebody had a ray gun.
Yeah, like some of them are pretty dangerous, but like midway through you realize that that's not exactly what the movie is about. It's actually them, making a play about what this is, and then there's an alien. Like it's so weird. Like it's so weird.
Dude, the alien fucking the alien cracked me up.
Yeah,
dude, when it's revealed to be Jeff Goldblum, I lost it.
But yeah, like I'm with you, Zach. Like I laughed all the way through this thing. Like it genuinely has some of the best dry humor that I've ever seen. And Wes Anderson is just known for that. Like that's just his style. But no one does Wes Anderson's style as good as Wes Anderson. Like dude
He said stop sending him these damn videos.
Oh yeah. People have tried to do
It's
like Wes Anderson videos, and it's funny because some do it. There's 2 groups that do that meme, that template. There are those who actually seen a Wes Anderson film, and there are those who go, "Hey, this is popular. Let me hop on this bandwagon of using this trend." And it's easy to tell who has or hasn't seen a Wes Anderson film.
And like this one, man, like you had probably one of his most stacked casts ever. Like you had Jason Schwartzman, Tom Hanks,
Bryan Cranston,
Edward
ScarJo,
Scarlett Johansson, Tony Revolori, like so many people. I'm forgetting people. Jeffrey Wright was in this. Like it was just a stacked cast. Tilda Swinton, of course, had to be in here. Like
dude, Adrian Brody,
Lee.
That man is getting so much work lately.
Yeah, I'm like, but like every aspect of it was so incredibly funny. Like not just like them in the desert, but like them playing the characters and them, dealing with like the ramifications of being in quarantine and stuff like that. It was just all so unique, interesting, and like entertaining. Like that's the one thing I will give Wes Anderson, even if his movies are vague and not exactly clear. Like, dude knows how to write an entertaining movie. Like,
Yeah.
yeah. So
See, for me, when it comes to Wes Anderson, I feel like every celebrity wants to work with this guy because there's so many cameos in this movie. And like, I mean, Maya Hawke had a huge role. Margot Robbie had a cameo. Sophia Lillis had a huge role. Willem Dafoe.
What's
Like,
crazy is this guy is never at the awards.
no,
I know, and it's unfortunate.
It's sorry, I keep forgetting. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Man, Jeffrey Wright, Steve Carell, come on! Like this cast, like I wish they had an Oscars an Oscars category for best ensemble.
yeah,
Because he would get nominated like every time. That and Oppenheimer would be like the two biggest nominations this year.
yeah, he would dominate that category every year. Like, as I mean, yeah, and like each different like groups had their own little stories within, you know what I'm saying, within this whole thing. It was just so freaking good, man.
Yeah.
Like it was just super creative, really funny. Like I'm with you, Zach. I've only seen this once, but like I know for a fact I'm gonna see this again. Like, and probably again and again and again. Like I've only seen I think 4 Wes Anderson movies so far, but he has not missed yet for me. Like he's not missed everything.
Have you seen the Royal Tenenbaums?
I've not seen that.
I was gonna say not my favorite.
Right, like he hasn't missed, but I haven't seen that. Like I've only seen Fantastic Mr. Fox, French Dispatch, Asteroid City, and Grand Budapest Hotel.
I really have to I keep telling that I really need to rewatch French Dispatch because when I went in, I wasn't aware of Wes Anderson's style and I was tired, and so it was very, very hard to stay awake when you're not expecting that.
Right.
That wasn't the first time that was the first time. That wasn't the only time he fell asleep to a Wes Anderson film.
Oh yeah, I fell asleep to Asteroid City the first time I saw it. I was so pissed because I'd wake up and I'd hear something funny. I was like, haha, and I'm like, I know the people in the theater freaking hated me.
Nice. No, but I loved it. So what do we give it? Asteroid City.
Solid 4 from me.
For me, I'm gonna go a little higher. I'm gonna go 4.5.
I think I settled on a 4 as well for this one. I loved it. Can't wait to see it again. I think of the 4 that I've seen, this is probably 4th, just because Fantastic Mr. Fox, Grand Budapest are like top tier, and then you know French Dispatch is also kind of like just below that, and I will put this one just below that. But still, like I've loved everything I've seen from Wes Anderson. I hope this streak continues.
You know, he has a train you can go to in England, and it's designed by him.
Really?
Yes.
It does. Is there like a filter on the windows that make it all pastelly, or?
No, it's not like that. No, it's actually it's through the English countryside, but the cabins are designed by Wes Anderson.
Wow.
So it's expensive. I think it's like $250, $300 for a ride, but I would do it.
I'd go. I'd go.
I would. Yeah. 100%.
Yeah.
All right. So
what's next?
Let me just recheck because I feel like I'm missing one. But we did Asteroid City, Indy 5, Joyride. I know one other one that we are doing.
No Hard Feelings.
There it is. Okay, so let's go with that one. No Hard Feelings. Jennifer Lawrence returns to comedy in another raunchy comedy, R-rated comedy, where helicopter parents get her to, I guess, seduce or
quote date,
yeah, their 19-year-old son, you know, to prepare him for the world.
Basically. Date him hard.
Yeah, exactly the word terminology they use. It's so funny.
Date his brains out.
Yeah.
I love J-Law, man. I love J-Law.
Like, I will be honest, Jennifer Lawrence is the only reason to see this movie. like she's
And it's the only reason I would rewatch this movie many times.
many times.
You guys have crazy reasons for watching this movie.
It's not crazy. We just.
Oh, I know.
I mean, like
I think a lot of guys would agree.
yeah. To be honest, like it's not good. Like it's not a great movie. It doesn't have a great premise.
Pretty fun. It's funny.
It's funny. Like I don't agree with the reviews of them all saying like the best comedy of the year.
No.
I personally disagree with that.
100% no.
Like, but I mean, it was still a good film though.
I'd watch. Joyride was more funny to me than this.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, full frontal J Law.
Yeah.
That's all I need. Sign me up. I'm there for it.
Like,
I'm there again and again and again. Just being honest here.
oh my god, we just got on YouTube.
Oh well.
There goes our monetization.
Oh, is this going on? Is this one going on YouTube?
Yes.
Oh, hi everyone.
We secretly filmed you watching the trailer.
No, but
Yeah, the reason I keep ducking like this, guys, is I'm watching J Law scene again.
Yeah. Anyways, no hard feelings was I think another solid comedy movie. Like I think Joyride was definitely funnier, but like it had some solid moments. It had some really moments that made me just like burst out laughing. And I mean that's all I really expected from this movie. So I mean I went in satisfied, left satisfied. It was a good film.
Yeah, like the comedy for the most part I think works. My issue was like it didn't have anything else after that.
Yeah, it just after the whole like reveal of like I knew it was gonna happen about him finding out that she was paid by the parents. I knew it was gonna do like the typical rom-com of either they get back together or they remain friends or whatever. It was predictable from the start.
Mm-hmm.
So
well, my biggest problem was my biggest problem with this movie was the trailers.
Yeah.
I hardly watched the trailers. I heard they gave everything away though.
Literally gave everything away way too much. Like the funniest parts of that movie are in the trailers. Like it's upsetting.
Yeah. Like yeah.
Except for the counselor.
Oh yeah.
Or his old babysitter.
His old nanny.
Yeah. That was hilarious.
Oh yeah, he's like, your property tax is going up. I don't own this place anymore.
Oh crap.
There were some, like outside of what they showed in the trailer, like I'm thinking about it now, like they gave pretty much everything away. Like the party scene where she like,
gets throat punched.
Yeah, when she gets punched, like they gave that away. They gave away the car scene. They go back to that gag at the end, and I don't like it. I think it's probably the most amateurish decision that they made, because it's like after everything that happens before that moment, it feels very tacked on for laughs, and I'm like, it's not funny. Like it's just not funny. But yeah, other than that, I thought it was okay. Again, Jennifer Lawrence is really the only reason to see it. I do think the parents were hilarious. They had some funny moments.
Yeah, I mean, you can't really go wrong with Matthew Broderick.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
So what was everyone's? Oh, go ahead, Phoenix.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say that was pretty much all I had to say about it. It didn't go that extra step for a comedy that I feel like it needed to really branch out. But
yeah,
Jennifer Lawrence is amazing, and I hope to see her in more comedies. So what are we giving No Hard Feelings, guys?
I'm gonna go with a solid 3 stars for No Hard Feelings.
Solid 3.5 for me. Like I said, I didn't really go in with any expectations, and I left satisfied. So yeah.
I mean,
solid.
I left satisfied too. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, no, I'm not shaming you for your half star less. I'm just saying, like,
You know what? Maybe for J-Law, I'll give it an extra half star.
Phoenix.
I think I settled on a solid 2.5 stars for this one as well. Yeah, it just didn't impress me much past those few things. So 2.5 for me, 3 for you guys.
Yeah.
Overall solid film. All right, so now let's talk about the main event. let's talk about
We're gonna be a little conflicted here.
the
I
one,
can say that.
the one, the only. Okay, maybe not the only because there's like 4,000 variants, but Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, hands down, I think probably the best movie of the year, depending on who you ask. Definitely among the top, I think in the top 3 so far for 2023. So this is the sequel to Into the Spider-Verse. Everybody from the original returns. We get some new characters who are amazing, and and the story of Miles Morales as Spider-Man continues, and his journey to accepting who he is, and what that means, and what it means to actually be Spider-Man. So there's so many different layers to this movie. I've been watching like breakdowns of like people like talking about this since I've seen it. I saw it, I want to say 4, maybe 5 times in theater. I love this movie. Like, I had a blast with this movie. It is way too long. I will say that. It's probably too long. But other than that, I got nothing but love for it. What did you guys think of it?
I'll let Zach go first because I have a lot of things to say about this.
Well, I haven't seen it 4 or 5 times. I only saw it once, but the one time I did see it, I loved it. I thought it was amazing. Personally, I think they did a really great job handling cameos. I don't think it was like overdone to where it was like cheesy. I think it was very well balanced. Everything, the story for me was on point. Some of the comedy, of course, like there's some really funny moments throughout that movie. So overall, I had a great time with Spider-Verse, and I would agree, Phoenix. Like, if it's not in the top 3 of the year for someone, I would kind of question it because it's really well made, really well done, and I'm excited to see the next one and what they do for the finale of like the trilogy. So I'm excited, and I loved everything about that movie.
Okay, hear me out.
No.
Listen, I have it at number 5 as of today's recording, prior to seeing like halfway into the year, prior to seeing Oppenheimer and all that. Anything pre Barbie and Oppenheimer on, I have not seen yet. Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse is number 5 in my list of 2023 films. I have it rated very, very high. It's a great movie. I think it's great. I just said that. I think it's awesome. I think the characters involved are hilarious. I think they work. I think the drama works. I think the characters work so freaking well.
So it's number 5 because
it has no ending.
Because it literally says part.
I know it says to be continued, but quick thing about Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning, it is a part 1. That film has an ending. That film has a solidified, like, actual ending to the film.
Okay,
this one ended right when things were about to get good, and now we have to wait another 4 years. Listen,
things were good throughout the movie.
Yes, exactly. But again, I have it rated very, very high, but it is not a 5-star rating because it has no ending.
I'm not saying it's a 5-star, but if it's still not in your top 3, man, I don't know what's happening here. You have 4 5-star movies?
Huh?
You have 4 5-star movies this year?
No. I have 2 5-star movies.
Okay, that's what I'm saying, and it's not number 3, so what's going on?
It doesn't need to be number 3.
What do you have ahead of it?
All right, from 1 to 4. Dead Reckoning, John Wick 4, Covenant, and Guardians 3.
You have Covenant up there,
Dude, the Covenant's so freaking good. But that's a conversation for another time.
You have Covenant above. Brandon.
Listen, save this conversation for the end of the year discussion. I'm just saying this film has no ending, but it is still
and you
great.
have Guardians above it?
Yes. I don't see the problem.
There's a big problem.
No.
There's a big problem.
Nope. But that being said, Across the Spider-Verse is great. The animation is top tier, but I cannot justify it not having an ending. I think, without a doubt, this is one of the most overrated movies of all time. People are saying that people are comparing this to 12 Angry Men. Like, what?
I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about there, but
yeah, no.
I will
dude, I've seen so many Instagram comments, so many TikToks. No, people are crazy.
To this point, and like, yes, recency bias aside, like, technically, it is so incredibly well made. Like, the movie is so incredibly well made. What I love so much about it, really, is like, to your argument about, you know, the ending or whatever. I don't care. Like, right? Like, I don't care, because there's so many things that are happening throughout the story that are broadening and deepening these characters, their relationships, and how they move through this life, and what that means for the overall story of Spider-Man, and who that person is, and who he is behind the mask, and what exactly it means to carry that mantle. So much of that stuff is happening through each character that I'm like, by the time it ends, I'm like, yeah, I'm sorry that it ends, and it kind of ends abruptly, but I don't care, because I've gained so much from the stories of each of these different characters that we got a chance to explore. And that, to me, is the story. That, to me, is the meat. That is why I'm like, it works, and it works so incredibly well. And I think it's really, really impressive that they were able to get that much for so many characters in one movie. Like, the growth in depth that we see Peter B. Parker go on, that we see Gwen, obviously. Gwen goes on. That we see even Spider-Man India has to reckon with the fact that, you know, he's a fresh new Spider-Man, and he hasn't really had that trauma yet, and he avoided it because of Miles, right? You got so many different characters who have so much depth to them that will get explored further, obviously, in the next movie, but I think they did such an incredible job of bridging that in this movie. And I think...
Listen, and I completely agree.
Yeah.
Just the only thing bringing it down for me is it does not have an ending. I get Beyond the Spider-Verse is here, and my opinions may change when Beyond the Spider-Verse gets here, but as of right now, star rating up front, it is a 4.5 for me.
Okay.
Yeah, like, I don't understand what the backlash is here.
No, 4.5 there. That's fine. I'm like, to me, right, like, there's only one other movie that I have above this, and that's because it's probably one of the greatest movies of all time. Like,
which movie?
Past Lives. Like,
okay, that's a fair one.
Once you see Past Lives,
I can't wait to see it.
Brandon, my hate is stemming from the fact that you have the Covenant and Guardians above it.
Hey, man,
okay.
But, like, yeah, to me, I think just the story, like especially because a lot of people really, really loved Into the Spider-Verse. Like, and I was one of the people who's like, I think y'all are being a bit too high on it Into the Spider-Verse. Like, I was definitely like, I was like Brandon, like, I think y'all are overrating the hell out of Into the Spider-Verse. And so
Into the Spider-Verse is not a 5-star film for me.
It's not for me either. Like,
I didn't say it was that either. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm like, but to get Across the Spider-Verse, and Across the Spider-Verse is so much better. Like, and I love Into the Spider-Verse, but Across the Spider-Verse is so much better than Into the Spider-Verse. It's insane. So, like, I think, to me, to have that jump from what I thought was a pretty good movie to a stellar, like literally like one of the best films of the year type movie. I just think that's insane. Like that's insane. So that growth and the story itself, which I think is so layered with so many different characters. I mean, I didn't even talk like I was talking Spider-Man. I didn't even talk about, you know, Miles's mom and dad. Like they get more depth this story. Spot is you took a D tier villain, like, and made him one of the most dangerous villains like Spider-Man has ever faced. Like, dude, like everything I love, everything about this movie is insane. I just think it's so good.
We'll see what happens in Beyond the Spider-Verse.
And I think that movie is gonna somehow exceed this one, which I don't even know if that's possible.
I have a feeling it will. I think it might end up being like, if Beyond the Spider-Verse is good, like listen, like I said, Across the Spider-Verse is fantastic. But since it doesn't have an ending, it doesn't mean much yet until Beyond the Spider-Verse gets here. Once Beyond the Spider-Verse gets here, it might end up being the best, one of the best trilogies of all time. I can clear like I'm trying to predict that now, but we'll see. Like they have the release date slated for next March. There is zero chance this releases next March. No way.
There's no question. It's definitely
like the fact it took Haley Steinfeld like 4 years to record her lines for Across the Spider-Verse shows the timeline that's ahead of us.
Yeah. Well, it'll be at least a year, maybe 2, maybe 3.
Yeah. So,
but Zach, what do you get? What did you give Across the Spider-Verse?
I went with a solid 4.5 stars.
Okay. And Brandon, you also went with 4.5 stars.
4.5.
I took the leap, bro. I went that full 5 stars. To me, this is 100% one of the best movies of the year. It is literally second on my list, only behind the greatness that is past lives. Yeah, like I said, I saw this movie 4 or 5 times in theaters. I can't wait to see it again. Like, I'm so over the moon about it. But that's 4.5 from Brandon and Zach, 5 from me. Did you guys get a chance to see any of these movies that we talked about? Across the Spider-Verse, Asteroid City, Joyride, Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny, No Hard Feelings. Love to know what was your favorite out of this bunch. I think pretty obvious for me it was Across the Spider-Verse, but what did you guys think? And let us know. You can find us now on Twitter, Instagram, and Threads.
Oh yeah, I forgot we made Threads.
Yeah. So let us know. All right. So we ran through the gamut there. We caught up. We're officially caught up on what has been out since we've been out. And now I want to know what's good, guys.
What's good? What's good? What's good? What's good? What's good? What's good?
I have a lot of what's good.
Zach, what have you been watching? What would you recommend? What's been good for you, sir?
Oh gosh, let me see what's good for me recently. I think a lot of the movies we talked about have been probably like some of my favorites personally, since like the last time we spoke. I did also enjoy The Blackening. I thought it was good.
Nice.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty funny. I was laughing through the movie. For me, it was a solid 3-star movie, but it was hilarious, I thought. So even if it's not like meant to be something, amazing, like it's still a good movie, still worth watching. It's a great comedy. So I recommend checking out The Blackening.
Okay. All right.
Oh, well, go ahead, Phoenix. If you don't say it, I'll say the other one.
I don't know what that one is.
I don't know what it is. But if you're gonna say it, I won't mention it. So let's see.
Well, the only thing that I've been watching consistently for the past few days is Mission Impossible movies. Just to catch up before Dead Reckoning. I never seen the series, any film in the series. So I was like, you know what? Dead Reckoning's coming out. I really, really want to see that. So I'm going to finally check out these Mission Impossible movies. They have been amazing. Literally been amazing. Even the worst Mission Impossible movie is amazing. Um, I I can't reveal my full ranking just yet because I have to see Fallout. But right now, I will say the one that I recommend the most out of all the ones I've seen has to be Mission Impossible 3. Mission Impossible 3 is amazing. Philip Seymour Hoffman is insane. He's so good as the villain. And it's great action movie, great fun. I loved it. Um, yeah, it's probably the one where the series finally starts going up this trajectory of awesomeness, like from there. But yeah, I hella dig it. So Mission Impossible 3 would be my what's good. All right, Brandon, what do you have for us?
My what's good is easily like, okay, so in the last 12 days, I've seen 18 films that are new to me.
Wow.
And I mean, I'm going to go through them all at some point this season, but I think going the unique choice out of all of the 18 ones that I've seen, I watched a movie called Rice Boy Sleeps. It came out this year. It is directed by Anthony Shim. The fact that this is not even mainstream is beyond me. It is a Korean film, and it is easily one of the best Korean films I've ever seen. It's a mother-son story about the son growing up and just from childhood getting bullied to who he becomes, and just the chemistry between the mom and the son, just about how much she does to try and provide a life for him. Man, this film is so freaking good. Like, I highly recommend checking it out, both of you. Like, when you get a chance, please watch this. Like, the unfortunate fact that this isn't even going to get like even a nod at the Oscars is just blows my mind. This movie is so freaking good. Like Zach, you were saying that the emotional moments for you with Joyride hit you, man. This is like a slap in the face.
So on that note, actually, I do want to change my movie because it wasn't brought up. We did bring it up a little bit earlier, but I'm actually going to change it to Past Lives.
Yeah.
Because that movie, before you see The Blackening, you would have to check out Past Lives. One of my favorites of this year. I can't recommend it enough. It's I guess you would say it's like kind of like a drama, but it's so well made. It's so good. It's not a super fast paced movie, but it really makes you think a lot when you watch it.
Oh my god! Like, just talking about that movie, bro. Like, you want to talk about a movie that just gets you right in the I love that movie. Like, I love it so much. Y'all don't understand, but yeah. So Past Lives, definitely. You can check out The Blackening as well because I've heard very good things about it. Rice Boy Sleeps from Brandon, and for me, Mission Impossible 3. Or check out the entire Mission Impossible series if you've never watched it. It's amazing. You will not be disappointed. The series literally has no bad movie. Like, you got ones that's not as good as others, but you don't have a bad movie the whole way through. So I'm very excited to continue on this journey. But there you have it. That's been what's good from us. And I think we're gonna end it here, guys. And next week we will officially have our first code word of the season. So we can challenge Brandon for his title as code breaking champion.
You're not taking it.
Well,
that's mine, and it is forever mine. And I think in film code fashion, as the winner, I get first dibs on the code word.
That is true. All right. So we will see you guys next week. Let everybody know where they can find you guys. Zach?
You guys can find me on Instagram at Zach Sneath. That is ZACH. SNEATH. I'm going to start posting there. And you guys can find me on Twitter. Also at Zach Sneath, and Letterboxd at ZSneaks.
And Brandon, where can everybody find you, sir?
You guys can find me on Twitter and Letterboxd at FANTASMIC ears. Not really active on Twitter, getting there, but Letterboxd, I'm grinding out movies, man. A lot of first time watches that even like our old co-host Nathan was like, dude, this is a first time watch for you. I'm like, yeah. He's like, what? Yeah. So, but yeah, no. Happy to keep watching these movies because there were so many that I've just completely missed in my entire life. I'm like, how did I miss these? And yeah, I'm excited to see what I'm going to be watching moving forward. So, but yeah, thank you guys again for listening. Thank you guys for making it through it, and bearing with us on this 2-month break.
Yes, and you guys can find me on Twitter at IMHOReviews1, that's the number 1, and on Letterboxd under PA Clouden. And as always, guys, please follow the show on Twitter, Instagram, and now on Threads at Film Code Pod, and we will see you guys next week. Season 4, baby. Let's get it. We're out of here. Peace.
Peace.